Hi, my name is Alexa Kialoha, and this is The Ugly Truth, where I'll tell you all the women's secrets. Let's go.
Let the girl know that you are a man and she is a woman. Starting from school, among their classmates, boys learn that they shouldn't show their feelings. Let's imagine you're a boy in school, and there's a girl sitting in front of you who you really like. You see her blonde hair, you see the bows that are tied so fancifully on her head, you could even spot her backpack from a mile away because you've memorized every little detail on it. Let's imagine that one day you finally muster up the courage, take a deep breath, walk up to this girl and say hi to her. At that very moment, all your other classmates, especially the boys, start teasing you and singing songs like Tili Tili Testo. You just start burning with embarrassment right then and there. And you realize that you don't want to approach that girl anymore because the guys will just laugh at you afterwards. So you end up neither having a normal conversation with the girl, nor making a good impression in the eyes of your friends. From then on, the thought starts to settle in your mind that if you show your emotions, people will think you're a fool and weak, so you start keeping everything inside. Then you grow up and you realize that you want to have a relationship, you want to have sex, you just want to have beauty by your side. And you realize that you need to somehow communicate with the opposite sex, so you buy books, you watch movies, you watch my channel, you sign up for pickup courses. But because of school, you got used to the idea that you can't show your feelings to anyone, and you expect that these courses, texts, and materials you've read will give you a magic pill, a recipe. A recipe for how to hit on some random girl without showing your feelings or intentions. You've read a bunch of books, now you have a lot of techniques, and you more or less know how this whole process of meeting someone works. You take a deep breath and walk up to that gorgeous brunette with the long legs. And what happens at that moment? You start doubting yourself. And you start asking some completely ridiculous questions like, oh hey, I like your manicure. And the girl's a bit confused like, what? My manicure? Well, yeah, I have a nail artist. I've been going to her for several years now. This week I decided to get coral nails. You look at her knowingly and think, yes, at least the girl talked to me, that's already a win. And then you start saying, listen, you know, I have a sister, she also likes getting manicures. Could you give me your number so I can pass it on to my sister and so you could recommend your nail artist because she's struggling and can't find one? You just start babbling all sorts of nonsense. And the girl, damn, sees your miserable state, sees that you came to her like a beaten dog and thinks, damn, I should help the guy out, I should give him my number. But even if she gives you her number, she'll never think that you want a relationship with her. Because from the very beginning, when you approached her, you immediately started talking to her about manicures or some topic that was absolutely unnecessary here. What you needed to talk about here was that you are a man and she is a woman. And that you want her. So you feel like a beaten dog, realizing that the girl only gave you her number out of pity. And unfortunately, pity does not make a man look good. So what should you do to make sure everything goes in the right direction? First, you need to work a lot on yourself, work on your self-esteem, and know all your strengths and weaknesses. If someone suddenly says you're fat, well, yes, you know that's your build. And it won't hurt you at all. You'll be like Deadpool. Because Deadpool's strength is that he knows his strengths and weaknesses. Okay, that was kind of nonsense. I think Deadpool never really cared about that. But the strong one is the one who knows everything about themselves. Second, try to remember that situation that happened to you at school when other kids laughed at you and realized that in fact other people don't really care about what's happening to you right now. They laughed back then and forgot about it a few minutes later, but you missed your chance and you might still be blaming yourself for not making a move on that cool girl. When you approach a girl, always make your intentions clear. You need to show her that you like her, that she caught your attention and that you want her. She needs to understand that when you take her number, you're going to call her and ask her out on a date, and that you won't be talking with her about manicures, hairdos, and all those topics she discusses with her girlfriends. You're not her girlfriend. Fourth, if you start talking to a girl and already feel like a beaten dog, realizing that something has gone wrong, or maybe you don't even realize it yet because you haven't had that experience before, and if you suddenly dare to kiss her, of course she'll reject you, because from the very beginning you've positioned yourself as her friend. Basically, like one of her girlfriends. So welcome to the friend zone. Fifth, practice introducing yourself to absolutely everyone. To people you know and don't know, to men, to women, to dogs, to anyone at all. You need to get used to stepping out of your comfort zone and expanding it as much as possible. I read that in pickup schools they teach you to hit on the most unapproachable girls. For example, you're at a club and there's this spot on the balcony where the most stunning girls hang out. And they're the hardest to approach because if you go up to them and something goes wrong, everyone will see your fail. So in these schools, they teach you to approach exactly those girls because they're the toughest targets. And if you go up to one of them and it doesn't work out, then you absolutely have to go to the second girl who's standing there, and if it doesn't work out with her, go to the third. It's super difficult, but it trains your willpower, it builds your self-esteem, and it develops your communication skills. The hardest part of this whole thing, when you approach girls like that, is that absolutely everyone will be judging you and people will laugh at you just like they did in school. And here, the main thing is to overcome yourself and just ignore all those people who might say something about you. It doesn't matter. The important thing is that you made the approach. But by taking such a confident step, even if you get burned, even if others laugh at you, it's still better than doing nothing at all. It's much better than approaching some easy target like, I don't know, a completely unattractive, timid girl, or a girl who's afraid of everyone and standing off in a corner. Always look for the most challenging targets to train yourself. Tell me in the comments about your unsuccessful dates or attempts to meet girls. At least on my channel, let's do that. We won't be afraid to tell the truth, and we won't be afraid to talk about our failures. And do me a favor, subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, and also hit the bell so it rings when my new episodes come out. And if you've already done all that, then share this video on social media. Here you can watch other videos about relationships, and I really hope they'll be useful to you. I put a lot of effort into making my content helpful for you.
Alexa K. Aloha was with you, and this is the Ugly Truth. Bye-bye, everyone.